That's way better. Much better. And good morning, Nathan. How you doing? Yeah, I start up on everybody's stuff next week. That's what I got it scheduled for. So hopefully I'll get all that done pretty quickly. Oh, I started that. I did that yesterday. Actually, I drew it up last Sunday, but I got the color done on it yesterday. God, this phone is acting stupid. Give me just 1 second. I gotta get. Oh, no. Cancel. Cool. I'm trying to do a time lapse of this piece so that way I can have it for my archives because I think it's a really cool piece. Good morning, Custom. How are you? Q's looking good. I mean, I can't deny that this is a good set of stuff that I got going on. So my Q is looking real good. I've gotten it down. I slimmed it down a lot. Why did you come up with your next set for me? Well, hey, now would be the time. Let's do it. I'm ready. You know I like doing those collections for you, so I'm definitely down. So I'm ready when you are. Yeah, just can you send me what you're thinking of? And then you and I have to schedule a call so that way I can kind of talk with you about the CGC stuff. So that way we can so you can kind of give me some guidance on that. Perfect. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll catch up with you on that after the school season's over with, so that way, because I know May tends to be a little bit of a crazy time for you and for most of us teachers. So I don't want to add to the headaches. Do you have the day off, or are you just like hanging out? Oh, that sucks. Getting that end of the year funk. I get you. I'll put money on it's probably from last week's trip. What's up, M Dog? Well, hopefully you can kind of just like chill out, relax. Yep, that's usually where it starts. And you know, kids when they're coughing, they just touch everything. We all know how that works. Especially when they're just like on a fun trip, they don't care. They just want to have fun. You speak of a cold. What is this weird stuff that you talk about? Colds don't exist. Perfect. The color I wanted, the ring. So for everybody that's coming on in, guess what? We're working on Aang today. And we're trying to wrap him up because he's the second of 2 pieces that have to go out today. I'm trying to see if maybe I can make it 3 because I had somebody order some cards. And then I'm going to work on a piece for Regenerative. I'm going to work on his Spider-Man and try to get that wrapped up. Hey, Adina, good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm just trying to get this Aang knocked out, but I don't think I'm going to have the colors I need to do it. Not here. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to do something very, very different for Aang. It's very similar to another cover I did. Fantastic Four was, and I didn't even realize I did it. So this is something I tried not to ever do, but I'm going to show you. And the weird part is it's on the same it's on the same exact cover. I didn't even realize I did it. So there's the Fantastic Four one, and there's the Aang one. So I even have the background on there. I didn't do it on purpose. I absolutely was not even looking at this. I just wanted a cool pose for him, like when he's getting ready to do his powers, and I wanted to integrate all of the symbols in there as well. Yeah, weird how that happens. But every piece that I saw, I couldn't see myself doing certain effects, so I just didn't really like it. So, Adina, how did your raid train go yesterday? Do you think it was pretty good? Where is my light blue? I don't see it. That's weird. I used to have a light blue in here. Maybe my kids used it all up. Not my kids, but my kids at my school. But it's not a cope. It's not a Prisma. Say that's the kicker. You're just introducing people to what you do. See, like I kind of got it the first time when they did the raid train. So custom was on because that was the first one I got a chance to watch. Um, so it was so hard for him to like do the selling part, and I'm like, then he just got into the rhythm of just him doing the cutting and showing people what he does, and that just made more sense to me. Uh, and I know it's a raid train, and it should be more like people should treat it more like a networking opportunity. Again, it's not all about the money. The money is a byproduct. The money will come. I'm gonna have to probably change where my camera's at. Not this camera, my phone camera. Yeah. So my whole thing was I treated it just like any other stream. I don't have the time to. I'm not gonna do the whole I gotta sell kind of thing. I just want to have fun when I'm doing my work. And if I'm trying to sell all the time, it's kind of throws me off a little bit. Oh, I do have that blue. Let me find it. This guy? Yes, it is. Sweet. Well, custom. I hope you feel better. I really do. Sorry, you're under the weather. I'm gonna try to pop in the white. Gotta hit this like light. That pencil is horrible. It's a bad pencil. I'll never use that pencil again. I know I have a light blue Copic in here somewhere. I just don't see it. Nope, it's not in there. This is the bad part about sometimes not being able to find your tools. I got 15 minutes and I gotta wake my son up. Sorry about the shuffling. I apologize. Trying to find a light blue. I can't find it. I might just stick with the blue that I have in there. Yeah, I might do that. What's up, CT? Yeah. But I thought the raid train was fun yesterday. We had a good time. All right, so that's all done, and we're gonna put a yellow in the background. So let's find the yellow Copic, which is this guy. So, Adina, are you open most mornings? I might see if I can get you on here probably next Friday or something. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I usually start my stream at about 9 o'clock on Fridays. Sometimes 8:30. Just depends on if I get a chance to go to the gym or not. But yeah, I'm thinking next Friday will probably be a good one. Supposed to go out of town, but that's not gonna materialize until Saturday. My goddaughter graduates next week, and unfortunately, our my son has a dance performance that he's doing the same exact day. Just a whole bunch of different things that happen that were supposed to happen. So one of my old students, I told him I was going to be at his graduation, but unfortunately, the party for my goddaughter is the day of his graduation because his graduation's on a Saturday. I'm like, the timing is horrible. I wish that the graduation was not on a Saturday. If it had been on a Friday, it'd have been perfect. Yeah, it's just a lot of craziness. So I've decided I'm definitely going to get my one student a gift. He was my longest or my second longest running student I had at my school. I had seen him go through so much. He had grown so much physically and just like emotionally. So when I had to leave last year, it was very hard because I was going to stay one more year just so I could see him graduate. But I just got to a point where I just couldn't be at the school anymore. And unfortunately, I had to leave. It's just better for my overall being. And it was tough. But he was the one person that I was going to stick around for. And I just could not stomach doing it anymore. It's too hard. But I got some good advice from one of my best friends. He's like, "Is he going to graduate?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you can be there when he graduates. You know, he'll still graduate. even though you're not going to be there, and it will be okay. And that advice was given to me 4 years ago, well before I went ahead and made my decision to transition out. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I had him from, I'm gonna say, like fifth grade all the way, actually probably fourth grade, all the way until he was a junior. So the art classes were his escape. I had a really good relationship with his parents, and I've had a hard time over this last little bit, um, deciding to call them about my me not being there, because I really wanted to be there, and had a speech and everything ready to go for him. So instead of me doing the speech in person, I'm going to send it to him in video form. That way he can keep it for prosperity. Yeah, I never realized how hard it was being a teacher, because you build connections with kids, um, and you take it personal when you are not able to do something for those kids, because they don't they're no longer like, they're not really like your students anymore. They're like your children, even though they're your students, and you treat them, you know, like you would your kids. And you want to see them win. You want to see them succeed. You want to be there in their triumphs, and even when they're like down in the dumps, you want to be there for them. So it's tough. So if you've spent a long time, teaching, or even if you're in any job, making a move out of a job that you really liked, and um, unfortunately you just couldn't do that anymore. It's really rough. What's up, Kendall? Good morning. Yeah. So, but he's going off to college, which is good, and I'm very happy for him. He's a smart kid. Um, we didn't know how he was going to transition into something like that, but I know once he's in a field and around people, he's going to be just fine. I'll be honest with you. He's one of those quirky kind of kids. He's very much a nerd. He knows his stuff. He's very much is like, he tries to know as much as he can about the things that he's interested in, and he's looking to go into robotics. So for him, I'm just like, go. Yes, you're in the right spot. His dad was part of NASA at one point, and his mom is a psychologist, or she's a therapist. And yeah, it's just really cool to kind of see where he's gone and who he's become, because he had a lot of issues going up, but he persevered, and he's really in a good spot. All right, I think I'm good with this piece. I think the gentleman that ordered this, he's definitely going to like what he gets. I'm sure of it. I'm very happy with it. So we'll sign this bad boy, and we're done. All right, custom. The queue is good. We're looking real good. So when you get a sec, send me over your list of things so I can start coming up with like some ideas. And I think, custom, if you are going to be the one doing the four, I think you're actually going to get into my 50th. I think you'll be my 50th cover purchaser. So I'm definitely going to hook you up, because that'll be really cool. Yeah, because I think this one right here is 48. Um, and I think if you do your four, that it should put me in 52. That's 52 covers, thanks to you, and you and Kendall and all the other people. That'll put me at 52 for the year, and I haven't hit a year at on here on Whatnot yet, but that's really cool. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome if that happens. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, Kendall was just telling me about that yesterday. He's like, I want to do a Spider-Man series. I'm like, okay, okay, I feel you. And Kendall, I think, was the one that gave me this idea, or gave me an idea. He goes, "Why don't you do this cover with this pose, but do it with like Miles Morales, do it with Spider Gwen, and then do the Spider Man, of course, you know, and have that whole series." I was like, oh, that's great. I'm like, yes, let's go. Yeah, Spider Gwen is one of my favorites to draw. She's definitely fun. Yeah, I got to go get some of those colors for Spider Gwen. She's got a specific teal and a pink that I really need to add to my lot. I usually do it with Copics, or not Copics, but with color pencil. So I need to get it with Copics so I can have that as the stuff underneath. What's up, Kirsty? Welcome. Oh wow! I'm gonna be honest with you. I've only done the head like a bust shot of the Iron Spider, so this would be really cool. That would go really good with that Iron Man that I did for you. I've been patiently watching your shows so I can kind of see how you take on those pieces that I did. And I'm gonna say, custom, that Iron Man, that's tough. That was a great piece. And what you did on the rear, oh my god, it's so good. So good. See, it's so hard because I at this point I really want to have you do one. I just don't know what I would have you do. I went to the comic book shop specifically looking for books that I could use for something like that, and I'm like, ooh, there's so many different ones. But I think I've kind of narrowed it down. It's probably going to be in the Spawn universe. I just don't know what I'm going to do for Spawn. No, no, no. Well, you know what that means, right? I know that my shop has another one. I'll have to just do another one so that way you can sell it. So, oh darn, you're going to have to cut another one. I'm going to. I'll call them up today because they sent me an invoice, and I know I saw that Spider Man in there, so I might just have. I'll just go ahead and order it because that Iron Man wasn't like super crazy to do, and I'd like to have another shot at it. So let's do it. I don't think I can do a recreation of what's on the back, but we can definitely do the Iron Man. Oh, okay. Wow, I can't even believe that thing sold so fast. That's craziness. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I love that Iron Man. That Iron Man was so insane. So happy with that piece. I've kind of noticed something about like doing these sets of pieces, which I kind of like more than just doing the singles. Um, when I have a series of them, I feel like I'm always trying to beat the last one. You know, I think that's the mentality I'm going to have moving forward. Instead of just coming up with like cool designs, I want to definitely just like have a set that works together. Like Kindles is coming out really cool because all of them are kind of set up the same. Think of like those cool high school pictures where somebody's like doing a pose. It's kind of like that. That's what I'm doing. Oh, guys, gonna have to give me just a second. I gotta go wake up my son. He is got an appointment that he has to get to. So bear with me for just a second. I'm gonna finish up this part of the leg. All right. No, I can do pretty much anything. Yeah, I can literally do anything. If you like superheroes, if you like buildings, if you like abstract art, graffiti, you name it, I'll do it. And there's no limits as to what I can do. I wish I could show you the final piece of this Street Fighter piece that I did yesterday, but actually, let me see if I have it. I just gotta find my phone. Oh, okay, it's right over here. Hang on one second. So this is the Street Fighter piece that I did the other day. For anybody that was on, so that's the Street Fighter piece that was done the other day. Yeah, it came out really really cool, and unfortunately I did it on an angle because the lighting was really weird in there. But I love the piece. It's great, and it's just basically Ken. You know, it's not Ken. Ryu gets a picture from Cammy, and it's a it's a cute picture with the she's got the little braids and everything. So I thought it was pretty cool. Strategically done. Yeah, right. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Give me 1 sec. Like I said, I gotta go wake up my son because he's got an appointment. So hang on 1 second, guys. Right back. Give me 2 minutes. Up until 10:30. Okay, let's get back into it. All right, gotta get all the stuff back together. All right, I am back. So sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, anything that anybody can really come up with. Um, Obviously, if it's something that I haven't done before, I'm gonna do a better job with it because it's something new, and I like a good challenge. Why is that doing that? That's weird. I mean, I'll give you a case in point. Let me show you some of the stuff that's been done recently. So, yes, we do superheroes over here, but I mean, we got Ben Grimm, got a little bit of Hulk. Yeah, that's the superhero stuff. But if you're a Pokemon fan, we do Pokemon too. And this was actually a picture that was given to me to replicate, and I added in the Deadpool in here. And the picture was actually wider than it is tall, so I actually had to move this, like this character here had to be shifted in, this one had to be shifted in, that kind of stuff, and then it's just replicated. I'm going to do. Let's go and let me see my show here. All right, there we go. Why is that not showing my show? That is so weird. Oh, okay. That's what it's doing. Yeah, so like this one was really cool. So if you're into Transformers, same thing. Like this is a new Transformer set that I'm going to be working on here in the next like week or so. So this is it's more like think of kind of like a Street Fighter kind of thing where you have. Sorry, I got them flipped around. They're not the right way. They're like this. They're interconnected. So you get something like that. So the two Transformers are fighting. We got the power meters here. Got Blaster versus Soundwave. Really cool stuff. Working on a Casey Jones. I had to cut out this arm here because the way it was looking really weird. So it's supposed to be crossbody. So I got to put his arm in perspective back there. And then we got Shredder to go with that. No, Kendall, I actually did all that freehand. The only part that I did ruler wise was literally like that right there, but everything else was all freehand. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, when it comes to that kind of stuff, you as you're learning, you learn how to draw with your arm instead of your wrist, and that's how I'm able to go ahead and do that. Now, this is the kind of stuff Custom and I have been doing. So Custom really does something really neat. So at least with my stuff, I won't say this is with everybody that he works with, but the one thing that he really gravitated towards was doing this grayscale, and it gives him the ability to go in there and knock out the negative space. Let me zoom in here. Boom. So it lets him take a look at that negative space. It looks really really good on these pieces. Love these. These are so fun. And luckily, I was very blessed enough to end up working with Kindle on here, and Kindle has ordered some stuff, and I don't think I've put it over here. Yeah, because I have his stuff separated from everybody else's. But Kindle is the one that has like the Shredder and the Casey Jones. There's also a Bebop and a Rocksteady that are with that set. So we got a little bit of everything for his. Oh, my phone died. That's why that happened. I did not understand that. Yeah, so that's why I said, if there's anything in particular that you're looking to have done, now is a good time to jump on it. And the other part is that until for the foreseeable future, which I didn't tell you about and anybody that's new, um, so I shouldn't say do. Currently, I have a challenge where I'm pushing myself to do 1,000 sketch cards in a matter of a year. Sorry, guys, just adjust it. So I'm going to do 1,000 cards in a year. And to give you an idea, these are the cards that I'm doing. So like these, okay? So like this kind of stuff. Okay. So it's this level of work that you're going to get when you order the custom sketch cards. But the way that the 1,000 sketch card series works is that there are 10 different categories, one of which I've already completed. So marble was at the very top. Okay. And marble is done. Like marble is out. So I'm going to put marble all the way here at the bottom. But that series is complete. Okay. So there are 100 different characters per group. Okay. And my goal is to knock all of this out. Like I said, by November, my goal is to have this done. It's a personal goal. It's not something that's part of, work or anything like that. So as I get commissions through, you are going to get a free sketch card. Now the sketch card will be in black and white. So if I don't think I have one that's in black and white over here, but you'll get a black and white sketch card. So basically like one of these, but it'll be non-colored. I know Custom got a couple. Joseph's gotten one. The two people that got those two covers, they've gotten theirs. So it's like a little incentive, more like a thank you. I wanted to do it where I was giving out like stickers and stuff, but I think this is a little bit more personal. So you get something, you get to pick from the group, and then I randomly send you one of the cards. So it's fun for me, and it also helps with my list. So if I have 30 people ordering 30 things, I get 30 pieces off my list, and that's cool. Like I had a gentleman yesterday that bought 2 cards, so he's going to get a third one. So I'm taking out 3 cards off of my list, and that's even better. So it's helping me out. It's getting it's getting people extra art, and whether they keep it in their own collection or they give it away, it's still going to be a fun little thing for people to have. So just a thought, just something fun for people. Oh shoot! I gotta get this plugged in. Whoops, lose that marker. Runaway markers. Where's my cord? Yeah, we don't want to lose our computer. All right, so that's the spiel. That's the stick. Medina, are you working on anything right now? You drawing? Oh dang, my whole phone fell now. Didn't even notice that. Yeah, I'm gonna get drawing here in just a second. I just gotta get my cord from my computer. Then I gotta grab my phone. Come on, you. Give me 1 sec, and then I want to get to work. All right. Grab the phone. We'll unplug that. We don't need that right now. Yeah, we got too many cords. That's the problem. Okay. Getting ready. Head somewhere for a long weekend. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I hope everybody's going to have a good one. Long weekends are definitely a blessing and a half. It's a good way to reset. For sure. All right. Let's get this off of here. And we're going to wrap up this Spider-Man, at least the black part of Spider-Man, and then we're going to hit the red and we'll go from there. So definitely like doing some Spider-Man. He's a fun one. You get to contort him in all sorts of ways. And actually, this is so person that ordered this, he asked me to do a Venom as well, and I'm looking forward to that Venom. It's a little tricky with the Venom because the Venom I picked was the Capcom, the Street Fighter version of Venom. So that particular character's got it's got this extra symbiote mouth that pops out. It's almost like his side weapon, and he's also blue. But the problem that we run into is the only cover that I can get my hands on for this Venom book is a black one. So I have to do things in negative space. So I have to be really creative, and I have to be very specific on how I make things pronounced for the character. So it's a really hard one. No, that Doom was not for custom. Custom did not ask me for that one. That one's still up for grabs. I did that upon the announcement of the trailers that came out for Doomsday last Christmas. That's what I was. No, it's not purchased at all. I don't know if I have it in my thing, but I can put it up there. Or if you do want to just grab the custom book and I'll just sell it. I'll just do it that way. Make it easy. Why? Who wants it? Who's wanting to grab it? Is it you, customer, or you want to get a Kindle? You know what? We can fix that problem right now. Let's do that. Because I think, let's do this. Look, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to make another one literally as soon as the trailer comes out. I'm making another one, like a different one. Yeah, but Kindle, I thought I was sending you all of your books. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, just do it under the custom books, and that way I don't have to worry about doing the listing and everything. It'd just be a little bit of a pain in the butt to do that right now. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll go ahead and send all that stuff to him, and um, I got in contact with my shop, so I got your books coming, so I can round out those turtle ones. So that'll hopefully those should be here by early next week. Yeah, I was trying to get all these turtle books done this week, but legit, I left the comic book store and I knew that the comic book store had your books. But because they went ahead, they gave me a stack of books that I had already held aside. Because the first time I went to go grab stuff for you, I grabbed probably like 13, 14 books, stacked them up. I said, when I come in for my next shipment, I'm going to buy these books. So they were like, okay, cool. So at that time, I'd ordered your Turtles books, but they didn't put them with the other books. And I wasn't thinking about it. I didn't go to my list and check and be like, hey, I need to get this. So I get back to my work, which is about 30, almost 40 minutes away from my shop. And I look and I'm like, I don't have these books. So, so I was like, ah. But I mean, that being said, it's okay because I can just use those books. And I mean, I can wait for those to come in, wrap up the others, and be ready to rock. Because I have four of them here that I'm going to rock, that I'm going to knock out. And then I'll do the last two and we're good. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna just definitely take care of all that stuff for you. So I think next week what I'll do is I'm gonna make the announcement for the 50th book, so that way everybody kind of knows. I'm so excited. Kendall, everyone, thank you so much. I mean, it's been pretty awesome. It's been a great ride so far. Yeah, you guys have introduced me to some really cool people. I mean, I got Faith that's going to come up on here. probably next week, along with Adina, who I got to meet through Kay. I'm going to have them come through, and we're going to do some co-hosting. And probably my goal is during the summertime, Custom, I want to do a couple shows with you. I think that would be fun. I want to hang out with some of the people that, I get to watch. And Kendall, it's too bad that you're not like doing the art stuff, man, because I would love to have you up on here. Yeah, I wish I could do that. I think I've kind of figured out how I can kind of do my streams. I'm gonna probably be able to do it like almost 5 days a week. Because at my job, I go there early, so I can just do my setup there, leave it there, and just do all that. Because I'm already on site. Why is this thing not refreshing? Yeah, Kirsty, I do collaborations, and I would love. I mean, if you want to come up on one of my streams, absolutely, I would love to have you come through. The only thing that I will ask of you is I would like to do, if you don't mind. I'm not going to say it's a mandatory thing, but I'm trying to get into this kind of thing where I can do these little avatars of all the people that I work with. So, for example, I'm doing one of these for Faith, but like I do little avatars for everybody that I get to have on my show because I think it's fun. I think it's cool to kind of have like, even if it's not their actual face, but to have a face to go with the actual person. So I do that for everybody. This is, if you haven't seen it already, that's my little avatar that I have there. I've done one for, who else did I do one for? I did Art by Rob. He's got one, all that. No. You don't have. No, I do those avatars, and I would give that to you. So if you ever want to use it for your stuff, you're more than welcome to. I just do it for me because it's a little bit easier for me to have that avatar up there because then I remember who it is I'm working with. And it's also for people that are watching the streams. They also know who the person is. So like Adina's got her picture on there. I snagged hers, and I'm going to make hers for our show. Faith sent me over a couple of pictures of him. I have to make one of Kay. She's the only one. She was my first co-host that I ever did a show with. So I'm going to do one, do one of her. Especially, now that I got a better picture of her, it's going to be really cool. It's going to kind of, it'll kind of emphasize a lot of the things that, make the person the person. So like Gabriel's got this awesome mustache, which you saw in the picture. So I really wanted to like embellish that a little bit. I didn't put his salt and pepper beard in there, but I just definitely wanted to go ahead and grab some of the things that made him him. I'm trying to figure out in my head how am I going to do customs piece, but I'll get there. I will get there eventually. Maybe I can make him like an avatar of like a little cutting blade with eyeballs. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that one out, but I do want to have that again for everybody. It's just a nice little recognizable piece. One of my buddies that I follow, when he used to do his co-streams, he used to have a guy on there called I think it was called like Amazing Potato or something like that. Because the guy, he really liked his carbs. So they would, he would jest and kind of like, throw little jabs at this guy. And the guy took it all in stride. So he wasn't taking it personal or anything like that. But anyway, he would do that. And, it's called Mega Potato. That's what it was. Mega Potato. So he did that. And he made this guy look like a superhero potato. It was pretty awesome. So for me, I'm like, I love that idea. It's recognizable. Let's do it. Yeah. I mean, I'll show you an example of it. It's pretty darn, it's hilarious. Let's see if I can find it here. But it would be Sketchcraft and the Mega Potato Show. So there are a lot of things that I see that are done, and I think they just make sense. And I'm not trying to bite off anybody's idea, but I just think that certain things just work well. Let's see if he's got it on his lives. He might. Um, he's got it in here somewhere. I just gotta find it. I'm gonna find it. There's lives. Do you have it here, podcast? It's kind of the mega show. I know he's got it on there. Mega show. I'm trying to get him to do more streams, but he knows it's a little time consuming. Okay, so this is it. So see that little character right there, that little avatar that he's got. Let me see if I is it on there. Oh no. Let me see. Oh, it's right there. That guy right there. See that little mega potato? Yeah, it's fun stuff. Like he's very creative, and I think it's just something that works best for me. Um, so I got that one right there. Called that one. Got to touch that guy up there. All right, Dina, have a safe trip. Take care. We'll see you later. I'll message you about getting together um, later. But yeah, custom. I'll be honest with you. I would much rather do some new stuff with you. Figure out what you want to do, um, and that could be literally anything. You know that. Yeah, I don't really have a lot in my stuff, but I can tell you this much: I have a Wolverine that I'm going to be doing here soon. Perfect. Yeah, I'll be doing a Wolverine Gundam on one, and I have a Savage Wolverine coming in, so I'm going to do something on that. But I'm definitely up for the challenge. I have a GoBots piece that I want to do too, and a Mega Man. I just got to find my Mega Man one. Yeah, I just definitely want to figure out how to do new stuff to the artwork. Like I want to figure out how to do like gold leaf to these things. That would be kind of cool. All right, so we're gonna have. How did I do it before? You know what? Let's look at the reference. Why am I trying to guess? Well, thank you for the follow there. I appreciate you. Let's see. I got my Spider Man in here somewhere. I know I just did one recently. You know, somebody called me out on a project, and I cannot fault them for it, because when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Darn it. You were so right. All right, I think I'm going to have, yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a pink in here, because I want to kind of like this highlight, so I just got to find that pink. Where are you? You're in here somewhere. I just got to find it. Is this it? Yeah, I think so. So we got light here, so that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we got light there, there. So light source has to be here, so we're going to have to change that. That's okay. That's what happens when you move too fast. You're not thinking. All good. Fixed. Yeah, so what we got on there? Oh, look who it is. Let's see here. Why is it not refreshing? Let's see. That's what I thought. I thought that was Sandman. Hey, Sandman, I got good news for you. You came in at a very good time, my friend. Very, very good time. So check this. Where are you? So, looky, looky. All done. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Yeah, this is going out today. So I have yours and another one, and they're going out today. So thank you. I really appreciated that. That was a fun one to do. I apologize for taking a little bit longer, but yeah, definitely worth the what I feel is worth the wait. Yeah, you don't know how much your support and everybody else's support really means to myself and probably the other artists that are on here, but I definitely appreciate it. Huge, huge, huge. Okay, let me keep that out because I'm going to need that again. Yeah, I've got that done, and your card is inside of your package as well. I knocked that out yesterday, so both of those are ready to rock. I hope you'll enjoy the sketch card. It was a fun one to do. Ooh, I also got to send out a CGC form to somebody today. Almost forgot to do that. Yeah, let me go back to my show real quick. Oh, Future's on. Our Faith is on. Perfect. That's cool. I'm not going to try to watch that and do my work at the same time because that's going to be really hard to do. So, Kirsty, if you want to jump on one of these days, let me know. I know you said that you have any time available, but I do my streams usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. That will probably pick up here in just a little bit, especially as summertime goes in. Yeah, I'm gonna check her out and see what's up. Yeah, let's give you a follow there, and let's take a look at what you got there. See what's in your shop. So, Kirsty, are you just starting out in the art world, or what's going on there? Well, we got to fill that up. Yeah, for sure. So, what kind of stuff do you do? Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I'm teaching wood burning this summer with some of my students. Yeah, I mean, honestly, on here, and we were talking about this yesterday on my stream. You just got to do it. I mean, I said yesterday, this whole thing about being on whatnot, you cannot go in here thinking that you're going to uh, go after the money. That's the wrong pursuit, and a lot of people present it that way. I present it more like, hey, you're already drawing, showcase your work, you know. And yeah, it's very weird talking to yourself at first, but once you start getting past that part, people just start interacting with you. And if the more that they kind of like buy into what you're talking about and the fact that you're actually interacting, and that some people just don't care if you talk or not, but if the art speaks for itself, then you're in good shape. But the interaction part is a big piece. It definitely helps. Yeah, because this, I mean, it's a weird medium to be on, but honestly, I find this to be a lot more relaxing and a lot more like an artist alley kind of vibe than having been on other things. So like YouTube was horrible for me, um, because YouTube is not, it's not as giving as this one is. Like the algorithm is built different for this. This is more for, it's a sales based thing, whereas YouTube is more like, hey, it's more like a TV show. Oh, sweet. Let me go and take a look at that. I'll say take a look at that in just a second. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. If you're doing wood burning, I think if people are able to kind of see it, that works well. For example, I don't know if you've had a chance to like watch custom stuff, but he's a real, he's a different kind of artist. And the fact that he doesn't only illustrate, but he actually does like cuts out of a comic book. So what ends up happening is like, say for example, like on this comic, he would like cut out like a spot on the foot, and it'll reveal what's behind on the book, which is really cool. It's just a very unique way of doing things, but he's showing you how he's doing it. Not to you know, give away all his secrets or anything like that, because he's not gatekeeping what he's doing, but this just shows people, okay, this is the process of what I use. I appreciate that, and then they keep on rolling. Yeah, me too. I can't tell you how many different little things I have on like TikTok and Instagram where it's just like process. Same thing like dance videos and stuff like that. I have tons, tons of videos like that. Um, that's not good. What's up, Doom? Good morning. So we have a bit of a hiccup here. So let's see where I can fix that. Let's take a look at what you sent me. Yeah, you'll realize like it's very easy for you to get comfortable in here. I tell everybody it really, if you've ever been to a convention, this is very similar to a convention style of art. because you're in an arena with people that are like-minded. They for they really want to see you succeed, that kind of stuff. So you can definitely bring your best work to the table. Wow, that's very precise. Very cool stuff. Yeah, I would say, yeah, you definitely need to do stuff like this. Have it live. Um, the lady that runs our raid, um, Tink, she's very much into this kind of stuff. So I would definitely say that's something um, you need to produce and show to people. Yeah, and see, like custom gets it. And I'll say this: I'm not trying to speak for him, but I will say this much: I believe custom and I are kind of like in the same age bracket. Um, so we have a different perspective on this kind of stuff than some people do. Um, when we look at the art stuff, we are literally doing it already, and people get fascinated by watching you create. And because that fascination is there, then they're like, okay, well, if they're able to create that thing for this person, what can they do for me? And you're already building the excitement because they already know what you're doing is great. Now they just have to own a piece of it, and that's how it all starts. And then when you get a chance to link up with other artists that do stuff, and then they are producing things, and you get to talk with them, you kind of feed off of that energy. One of the things I found recently, because I've had a chance to work with Kay and Gabriel, and even Art by Rob, whenever I'm on a stream with the two of them or any of them, my time goes by so fast and I produce so much stuff when they're there because I'm looking up, I'm watching what they're doing, and then I'm also doing my thing. And that energy, that creative energy, is there. It's beautiful. Yeah, it absolutely is. And I've kind of I talk to my students, my younger students nowadays, about this particular platform, not to oversaturate whatnot with artists and stuff, but a lot of people that are younger than me, they have a problem, really wanting to showcase their art. It's like they feel like somebody's going to steal it or they're not good enough. And I'm like, you know what? Art is subjective. Stop trying to appease people. Just do you. And you'll find your niche and you're going to end up, settling in that and growing from that. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Because here's one thing that I told my students the other day. I said, if you're doing something and people are biting your ideas, guess what? They're trying to catch up to you. You've already done it. You've already hit that milestone. So kudos to you that somebody's trying to bite off of you because that they're recognizing that what you're doing is good. They're already validating what you're doing. Look, you're and that's a big part. And when I said earlier, you're going to criticize your own art. You're going to definitely do it. That you're your own worst critic. That is a fact. But at the end of the day, who are you comparing yourself to? Are you trying to compare yourself to me? You're trying to compare it to somebody else that's on here? No, because at the end of the day, we all do art differently. You are not a clone of me. I'm not a clone of you. So you can't compare your stuff and say that it's not good enough. You can do that, and then if you keep on doing that, you're never going to grow. So what's it worth? Do you want to move forward, or do you want to just keep on sitting where you're sitting? And I'm sorry, I'm not a person that, if you tell me, hey, I want to grow and I want to get better, I'm going to tell you, you need to put yourself in arenas where you can grow. You need to be able to start stretching yourself. Make yourself uncomfortable. Yeah. I can't tell you how many students I have right now. They show me portfolios, not portfolios, but sketchbooks of work that they've done, and they've never posted it. And I said, okay, why are you not posting it? They're like, I don't feel like it's good work. And I said, listen, instead of you looking at it like it's good work, take it as like your archival process. If you put your stuff up online, right, even for 6 months, and you're consistently doing that, like even just once a week, all right, for 6 months, now you have 36 pieces of artwork that's been posted up online, right? That you can go back to and be like, oh, wow, I really have grown. That's really cool. And then you never know who else is looking at your stuff, and they might be like, oh, wow, I like what that person's doing there. That's cool stuff. How can I get in contact with that person? Because you never know who's looking at your work. You never know. I mean, you could have a friend of yours that saw your stuff and be like, oh, dang, you're good. You're really, really good. I never knew that you could do that kind of stuff. You know, you cannot cut yourself off at the knees. You really need to, put it out there. And it's fun. It's cool to kind of see the growth process. You know, if you don't put it out because you're just busy, that's one thing. But if you don't put it out because you're scared, then that's a whole different animal. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the big thing. I mean, when it comes to your artwork, you have to give yourself time. And I tell you this from personal experience. One of the things, like when I left my other job, my teaching job last year, I said I'm going to jump on Whatnot. I'm going to give myself 3 months. I'm going to see if I like it or not, and if I don't like it, it's 3 months that I got to do like kind of like a test and see where I'm at, as far as like a speaker and all this kind of good stuff. And I kept on being consistent. I was doing once a week, and then I switched over to doing what was it? I switched from once a week into doing 3 times a week. But as soon as I made that shift, that's when everything started to change because I found a new audience. And that audience definitely helped me move forward. There we go. Yeah. Well, you have to schedule that time. Think of it like this, like the reason why we schedule these shows and you schedule them in advance is because you have to make yourself accountable for what you're about to do. If you're gonna build a following of any sort, you're setting the expectation for people to come and view your work. So like if I'm gonna have a show and people know, hey, I'm gonna pop up on Tuesdays, they're gonna be there for Tuesdays, whether they're there for 5 minutes for the entire show, you know, they know that I'm going to be on there. So I'm building a consistency with my viewers. If you do that, the other parts will come together. But you have to be realistic with yourself and say, okay, well, I can do 2 shows a week for like 2 hours a piece or an hour a piece. But you have to dedicate that time. And you need to make it measurable where you say for a couple months, this is what I'm going to do. Make it at least a couple months. Try not to do it, you know, for like 6 months. Just say like 2 months, I'm going to do this. And then that way you're able to kind of build it into um, your everyday workflow, and it doesn't upset anything that you're doing. So, like for me, the reason why I pick the mornings is that nobody is around, so I'm not having to do like laundry or groceries or anything like that. I don't have any other obligations that would take me away and distract me, and then I'm also not taking away from my family. So that way, I'm able to focus in on this and get my work done. And then I close the books, and I'm able to separate this from my work stuff. I'll come up with ideas and everything for my stuff, but you just have to lay down time to get this stuff done, because you're not going to get better if you just sit idle. It's never going to happen. When I was in my previous job, because I was creating so much with my students, I did not have the energy to come out and draw every day. Like, it was really hard. I mean, it was super duper hard. But eventually I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm going to lock in. I'm going to get this stuff done. So I was able to do that. But again, I had to dedicate time to make that happen. So you got to ask yourself, how much time do I need? How often can I do this? 100%. Work-life balance is a huge thing. And the one thing that my wife knows, and we communicated this before I even started this, I said, I have to do this. And she knew it, because drawing makes me happy. Illustrating always made me happy. Being able to put down my ideas and be creative has always made me just a happy person. And it's a release. It's always been a release for me. I could sit up here and draw for hours on end. Custom and I have had these conversations where, we have our drawing pads with us. But that time is for me to kind of like get my ideas. Even if I'm talking with somebody, I can still draw an idea, and that idea can remind me of what we were talking about. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's For me, it's weird. Like, I've taken trips and I've had like drawing pads with me, because it's calming. I've done it since I was a kid. This is why I advocate for this stuff so much for students. The arts are very important, so you have to make time to do it. You have to be creative, whether it's your writing, like Kendall's writing and whatnot, or you're playing music. The arts are very important. And yes, you're going to come up with those days where you just can't where you can't design something because your brain just doesn't want to do it. You're fighting it. But if you're going to be on here, just be consistent. Um, Look at your schedule. Make make a realistic set of shows that you can do. Like, I have one guy that I'm following. I saw him draw the other day. I was like, when are you going to be back on here? This is awesome. And he doesn't have any like shows set up as of right now. Trying to remember who it was I was watching, but anyway, his work was just really, really, really super clean. And I would love to see him do more work, because he's just really super good at what he does. We're not using that. We're going to use the warm colors. Hopefully that will give me my color that I need. I don't see my warm gray. That's not cool. Oh, it's right there. No. I work multiple jobs. I have a graphic design company that I run. I also work as a graphic design professor, and I also am a graphic design director for a non-for-profit. So I mean, I keep all my stuff together, like as far as like what I do. But I'm a multi-trick pony, so I also have artwork in a gallery right now. So it sounds like it's a lot, but again, that's that balance. And I have a very specific schedule that allows me to make sure that I stay consistent. So my schedule right now will shift depending on what semester I'm in. That part will change, how often I'm streaming. But I've gotten in with my colleagues and whatnot, so I typically will be doing my streaming on days that I have classes, so I go from streaming to class. Yeah, I have to pay to have my stuff out there. I pay a very low fee to be there monthly, and it's not. I don't have to. I'm not locked into a multi-month thing. It's a month-to-month kind of deal, and I don't have to um, worry about like the overhead and all that kind of good stuff. Um, I have told the people because they said they're not going to charge commission, but my thing is I would I said to push my work, I'd really like to. I want to push. I mean, I want to give you guys commission if you guys, sell my work. If you push to get the person in there to buy the stuff. I think that makes sense. That's why the commissions are there, you know. But they're like, no, 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 no. That's okay. So, but I don't. I take my stuff up there. I can run classes out of that, which I had to. I'm doing my first class. Hopefully, it's going to do it in April, but I think we're going to probably push it to June. And I'm going to be doing a string art class where I teach people how to do string art, which is the stuff that I actually display. And then we're going to do some hangouts, like art jam hangouts for people. And they'll be between $5 to $10 for the hangout. That way, it covers food for the place. That came out really cool. I like it. Halo that bad boy with a purple. Yeah, so I mean that's the kind of stuff I get to do. But yeah, we're gonna do the probably one of the first classes is a date night, a couples date night kind of thing. It'd be really cool. I feel like I gotta get another spider web in there. I think I'm gonna pop one in there. Oh yeah, Nathan. What I'll do is, I know I have you on my. I think I have you on Instagram, or I might have you on Facebook. One of the two. What I'll do is I'll message you and let you know. But I think it's going to be a 1 or 2 night session, but it'll be a couple hours for you guys to do it. In fact, you know what? Since you're here, I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to be doing because we just did an example of this yesterday. Hang on one second. Let me pull this up. We're doing a couple different ones. Where is it? This is it right here. So that's what we're going to be doing in the class. That guy. So that'll be a fun one. You guys will get to pick your colors and everything. I'll already have everything nailed and everything. Yeah, I mean that. Honestly, I taught somebody how to do that. Um, the person I taught how to do it was 14 years old, so I know that if I can get a 14-year-old to do it and literally sit down there and do it, I can get a full blown adult to knock that one out. Thank you. It is fun. I mean, it. I feel like I've the people that I've taught how to do it. They told me in the past that it's very calming. It's extremely calming. What I've also decided I'm going to do is I'm going to teach people how to do sculpture too in the class. But I want to have all of these things ready to go. So they'll do them. I'll bake them. We'll come back and then they'll do a second class with me. They're going to be on a Sunday. A Sunday evening. They're gonna probably be Saturday, and Sundays. I just got to make sure with the gallery when because we're doing it when the gallery is closed, so that people can come through. Yeah, I think it's a great thing because I'm trying to team up with there's a creamery or an ice cream shop right next door. So the goal is for us to do date night where people can come to do the art stuff and have fun doing that as a couple. They'll leave with something really fun, and then they can go either across the street to Sailfish Brewery for dinner. They could go to a tapas place, which is right across the street. There's a place called Taco Dive nearby, so you get like a nice little taco meal, ice cream if you want. If you like regular, Americanized food, they have Second Street Bistro, that kind of stuff. So lots of little different things. Yeah, that tapas place is off the chain good. It's probably the best restaurant that they have down there right now. Yeah, well, it's owned by Second Street, but it's their tapas place. Yeah, had my 40th birthday in that place before they changed it. Spider Man is so much fun to do. Yep, they did. They do. They just want to do something a little different. It's pretty damn amazing. Food is great. I don't think I can put another one down here. I thought I was going to be able to, but if I put one right here, it looks like it's coming from his crotch, and I'm not going to do that. I'm pushing it with this one, so I'm not going to do that. What's going on, Sam? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Regenerative is going to love this. Yeah, I feel like for couples, a lot of couples definitely want to do something like that. Yeah, Sam, you came in at a good time. We're talking food and date night stuff and an event that I got coming up down the road here. Ooh, that is just dry as all can be. Let us light that up. Where's the refill for it? Oh no, I had another marker now. Is this the other one? Oh, that was dry too. That sucks. So yeah, we'll just fill her up. Yeah, I feel like it now that things are starting to settle down. My wife and I have come to the consensus that we could do a couple hours. We're just going to do a setup. We'll have food. Um, I think 2 hours should be plenty time to get it done. We might push it to three, just so people can get it done. I think 2 hours is probably going to be a sweet spot. It'll be a 4 hour class, so two 2 hour classes might be the better option. You come back, we'll have your stuff ready for you, and if you can't make the class for whatever reason, we'll come back. We'll have you for another class. We'll just push you into another one. But the goal is to get people to the more advanced stage where they can do some bigger things. But the goal for the actual class is just more for us to get people to connect. I wanted to have a place where I could actually have people hang out, and I think my wife and I are going to have to set it up where we can have people of the community come in because a lot of people don't even know that this place even exists. people that even go down into that area because it's such a smaller place. And before it had a problem because there are places that would pop up next to it, and because they popped up next to it, they would close. So it kind of threw things off. But that's coming up very, very soon. All right, so this is perfect. I think Regenerative is going to be happy with this piece. Yeah, this thing looks insane. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I will have to get a scan of that one before it goes out. I did get a scan of the Ryu one, which I'm a little pissed that I didn't do that, but it's all good. I wrapped that thing up. I'm like, oh, I'm not taking that out. I mean, I could. There we go. That looks good, right? So we got that one done so far, and we got this one done so far. That's good. It's 2. I got 30 minutes. So let's see what else we can get done in 30 minutes. I think what we'll do is we're going to start up with this Pokemon one. Oh, I'm going to put this one on this old pile so that way I don't forget. So I'll put that with regenerative stuff. I just got to I got to put it on a new sleeve. We'll definitely do that today. It looks like it's fast, but I've only been on here for an hour and a half, so. But in all fairness, that Aang one was already like 95% of the way done. The Spider-Man's really not that hard because he's only 2 colors, and then you're working with shadows and highlights, so it works really fast. Well, that's the one thing, Kirsty. You're going to learn how to get faster. The more that you do it, you get the thing that I found is that you get processes put in place. So you're able to do a lot of step and repeat, and you already know what to do. So, like for me, when I do my drawings, so like doing these covers, I will already do a mock up on my iPad or on a piece of paper, and then I use that as my reference, and I can quickly lay down the piece, and then I'll go into throwing down ink. Like this particular piece, this one took me probably about 2 hours to do, but the first time I did it, I made this guy way too big. So Snorlax was really, really huge, so it was throwing off the piece. So then I started from the bottom, got all my shapes in place, and I worked my way up in order to get this piece to like really fit in. And even fixing things like this, moving this particular piece over was a challenge. But again, because I've been doing this for a while now, um, multiple years, it's been a little bit easier for me to make these kind of moves and make things work the way I want them to. All right. All right, let's see. Do I start with Pikachu? You know what? And you know, I'm going to have to record this because this one's going to be a good one. Let me get this recorded. Yeah, just don't worry about the speed. The speed will come. I kind of relate it to like if you've ever been to the gym and you're working out. So when you first get into the gym, your body hurts after the first one. It almost makes you feel like you don't want to go back and do it again, right? Because you're not up to par where you think you should be. Like mentally, you're like, I'm going to do so good. I'm going to kill it when I get to the gym. But realistically, your body's just not there yet. And you just got to kind of give yourself some grace. And over time, you will get to that faster, pace. But at the same time, what you're doing, wood burning takes time. So that in and of itself is something that you got to kind of consider too. It's not a fast process. It takes time. Expectations are always higher than what I can do. Well, you got to set the right expectations for yourself. What's up? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I feel like you're able to make reasonable goals for yourself. So everybody I've presented with the Road to 1000, my sketch card series, people think that that's a little insane. They think it's cool. They think it's a crazy goal, but at the same time, they're like, "That's a lot of cards." Every time I hear it, everybody need to step out for a bit. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Custom. I hope you feel better, buddy. Um, so the reality is that if you give yourself realistic goals, you'll feel better because you're able to achieve them. So, for example, like I said, the 1,000 card series, I've kind of been working towards this. I did 700 plus cards in the past, and that was during COVID. So my motivation was different. I was doing it to help out a shop. So I didn't even really keep track other than keeping the names of all the characters. And then I started taking scans of all the work that I was doing. And then I realized, okay, I'm at 700. Well, every year I do Inktober and I do Junetune. And that's 30 days of artwork um, per challenge, right? So that in and of itself is 60. And those are like fully generated, pieces of artwork. Like they're full art pieces. However, um, I was like, in this past Inktober, I was able to do 30 really fun X-Men pieces, but there were 3 different categories that I wanted to do. I wanted to do X-Men, I wanted to do mythology, and then there was a pinup series. Well, because my schedule was a little crazy, I couldn't do all of them, and I found out, okay, well, I wanted to do them, but realistically, it wasn't in the cards for me to be able to pull that off. So I decided, okay, I'm going to back down. I'm going to figure out something that I want to do, and I figured it out. It's like, okay, um, I'm going to do the little sketch cards like this, right? And these don't take me very long. You can see, okay, so here's a sketch card. Just to kind of give you an idea of what I say the difference is, okay? Let's just put these like side by side, okay? Just to kind of give you a comparison so the numbers make sense to you, okay? So for every one cover, it's 9 sketch cards, okay? 9 sketch cards equals 1 cover. So if I've done 50 covers in less than a year, I've done about 450 cards. That's just based upon the math. And that was realistic to me. Like I can do sketch cards pretty fast. I can do them, I could probably do like 6 or 7, in about an hour clip if I'm hustling, and that's no color. And that's just me having fun. But I try not to, overextend myself. I really want to give myself realistic goals. Yeah. So, you know, when you look at this stuff, I mean, you have to give yourself achievable goals. That's one of the things. Like I came into this whole thing saying, okay, I was going to do, okay, so these are my categories. So I have 10 categories, right? The original goal was like, I'm going to do 1,000 Marvel characters, which realistically I could have, or I'm going to do 800 Pokemon or something like that. But my thing was, I would get so bored doing that many of the same character. I was like, I'm not doing that. I won't do that. And even with Marvel, because I've drawn so many Marvel characters, I was like, probably after 100, I'm going to be spent. I don't want to do it anymore. I'd be completely bored. So then I came up with the idea. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to do 1,000, but what if I did 100 of each one? And I was like, that's cool, because if I decide to do it, I go like, all right, one week I'm going to do 10, one week I'm going to do another 10, blah, blah, blah. I keep on going through. That's a little bit more achievable. So, like you said, like with weight loss, it's the same thing. If you give yourself goals, you feel like you're making a lot of progress. I mean, I gave somebody the analogy. Think about it like this: if you get $1, okay, if a kid gets $1, they're kind of like, what's this? Okay, but if you give them $1 every day and they keep that dollar every day, and they do that for a year, they'll look at that stack of $1 bills and they'll be like, "Oh my god," because it's huge for them. And the same thing is when we're doing this kind of stuff. But you have to start somewhere. That's the biggest. That's the biggest hurdle. You have to start. Once you get past week 1, okay, we're good. Week 2, all right, we're starting to cook. Week 3, that's when you kind of get to that wavering feeling, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And then you get past that, and then you're on to the next parts. You just gotta start somewhere. Just gotta start. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm gonna go until 11:30, guys. So that's 11:30 Eastern time. So if you're on the West Coast, that should be about 8:30 your time. But yeah, for sure, definitely down. But I always talk to people about process. That's my when I because I'm a designer and because I teach because of the field I'm in. I always teach people about process. It's one of those things that we don't even realize that we do, but we've been taught process since we've been kids. Okay, our parents tell us, okay, well, um, if you want to be able to go play your video games, you have to do X, Y, and Z. If you want to go to the store and get something from the store, you need to do X, Y, and Z. If you're in school, in order to get a specific grade, you have to follow these steps. Even in mathematics. So when I'm doing this kind of stuff, I like to teach people how to do what I'm doing, and they can choose to either follow it or not. I mean, but at least they know how it's done. And they can see that it's something that can be done, and they can just pull it off themselves. I expect people to take the lessons that I give them and just roll with them, because that's how you get better. You know, you have to put your spin on it. And your stuff that you're doing right now, that's pretty amazing. That is a skill. Like when you get to that next level, because I can tell you're at a certain point right now, because I've done that craft before. When you hit that next level in your wood carving stuff, and especially when you start having an audience watching you do it, and you see the stuff that you used to do and the stuff that you're doing now, when you see that, you make that move, you're going to be like, this is amazing. And you're going to push yourself. You'd be like, I need to do bigger pieces. I need to create more depth. I want to start working on making things more realistic. And then when you start mixing the whole all those ideas, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is so good. I'm so happy. I think I'm gonna give him Wolverine shorts for this one. Go have Wolverine on his butt. It's gonna be funny. Welcome back, King Doll. So this is it's just a lot to get going, but I would say this one, you just need to go. Like I would recommend if you're going to do this weekend, if not today, I'd probably push you more today. You need to schedule a show for next week. And you do that if you have a community of people, share your show with them. Hell, you can share it to me and I'll share it to other people. Because ultimately, what we're trying to do is get more people on here to grow this platform. Oh dang, man, dude! Yeah, that glitch we had the other day. Yeah, everything crashed. It was weird. It was really, really weird. I'm going to zoom this out. I can't stand this right now. Wow. Cancel. Zoom out because I want to be able to see what I'm doing. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do Snorlax, and I need to find that green that I can use for Snorlax. This is it. I'm going to lighten this green up. But for the most part, he's going to be this color. I'm pretty sure this will work. So just make sure. Yeah, that'll work. Get some of my bigger characters done. I've been kind of like nervous to start this one because it's got a lot of characters in it, but I was like, screw this, I got to get this thing done because I won't move on to the next thing until I finish the first. I'm like an achievement person, especially with how I operate on here. I won't get to the next thing until I finish the first thing before it. Oh, uh, Chrissy, so here's something that I would tell you. So doing this kind of keeps me honest and keeps track of what I'm doing. So people can kind of see what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, which makes me happy. Keeps me accountable. So people be like, hey, I see you working on this. When are you gonna do mine?" And with this, because there's so many things in here, it kind of like says, okay, well, I have 4 orders that are due. This is the order that they came in. Let's go ahead and knock them out. I also have a place where I can start communicating with people. So I try to keep people in the loop. So, for example, like Kindle on here, he purchased a series of books a while ago. Now I've been working on them consistently, um, but I'll work on his books and then I'll switch over to work on other people's books. But I'm always showing him, where the status is of the work that I'm doing. So I think that's one of the other benefits of having this particular platform. What's a plus? Like this one here, um, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do it for you. But I don't typically do this many characters. I'm okay with it. It was fine. Because I always get nervous doing this many characters and not having enough room. But he was nice enough to give me something to work off of, and he's like, put this character here. Deal. Let's go. Yeah, but you got to start somewhere. So like today, my whole thing is going to be after I get done with this show at 11:30, I have to schedule out my next set of shows because every time I schedule them, they put them on the wrong days and they push them way out where they don't need to be. It screws up everything. So people don't know when I'm on. So I have to fix that problem. So I'm going to schedule my shows for like the next 2 months today. Yeah, I don't even know where he got this idea from. He gave me the picture. I'm like, okay, let's go. I just like that's my favorite part because all of them are going down this water area. Kind of reminds me of what is it? That Adam Sandler Grown Ups. And they're all going down the water slide. But I'm not huge on Pokemon, so for me this was fun because Pokemon are just literally shapes. They're just different shapes put together. I mean, like Snorlax is literally like a big ass oval, and if you look at Pikachu, he's more like a bean. Which reminds me, he's way too damn yellow. He's very very bright. I gotta tone him down. Um, but yeah, that's. I mean, if you start looking at things like that, you'll notice that that's how this stuff works. So I'm looking forward to the Pokemon set that I'm doing because the Pokemon set is probably my favorite one to do. Um, and I think what I'm also going to do is I'm going to tinker with some gold leaf when I do a couple of these pieces because I've never done gold leaf. So I had to experiment with the Pokemon. For anybody new here that has not seen these yet, so the Pokemon are a little different. Okay, they're down on the set. So the Pokemon actually are holographic. So when you get the Pokemon, they actually they sparkle and whatnot. Actually, this here. It's a little hard for me to see what I'm doing. Okay, so the Pokemon actually have that reflectiveness to them, and then on the rear side they have um, the card on there. So, but they also have all of the technical information for the actual character on there too. So their original art, and it's got that piece on there. So they're a very different kind of card. Love those things. Love those cards. All right, so his foot is that's a Pokemon up there. Okay, so I gotta cut his belly a little bit so he doesn't get that belly. Okay, this is for this little fish here. To make him a little darker, I have a colored pencil I'm going to go over with him. You know, looking back, I wish I had known a little bit more about Pokemon, but it is what it is. It's not my thing. I was one of those kids back in '95 that rejected the shit out of this stuff. I was like, no, no, absolutely not. Pokemon is horrible. It's lazy art. I mean, I gave it every last bit of my hatred I could ever think of. I was like, I'm not liking this. This is not cool. But years later, I happened to have been watching the Pokemon movie that came out years ago. You should have had Pikachu electrocuting the water and the other Pokemon. Yeah, I would have done it. You know, that's a great idea, Kendall. But regenerative was very specific in having this piece, or I would have altered it. But very good idea though. Okay, that'll work for his belly. Yeah, this will work out perfectly. You gotta be very careful because I do not want to hit that green. If I hit the green, it's going to come right into this piece, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, Pokemon are a fun little group of characters to do. Doing the 100 is going to take a little while because I have to input in all that information. But once it's in there, it's I can remake the cards how many ever times I want. Like as far as the data part goes. But regenerative stuff will go out next week once I get his approval on the Venom, and then we're good. And I think once I get him done, I have to finish the Transformers piece, the Hulk, and the Hulk I can probably send out to next week as well. And then I think my queue will be almost done because customs will be the last. Not custom, but Kindle stuff will be the last stuff. Yeah, well, for me, I would say the designs of the Pokemon and even the cards. I would even say the cards over the years have gotten better and better. The original cards that they had, because my son, I think he had an original Charizard at one point. I think it got thrown away, but um, those cards were huge, and they still are. I think the whole idea of collecting things has always made that franchise. There's something about collecting something in that series or in that that cartoon or um, that has just propelled it to another level. I think people just love to collect things, and Pokemon just happen to be right time, right place. And I think the characters themselves are really cool, design wise, and they just keep on getting better. And they're simple. They're not hard for people to understand. And because they have so many and it's been going generationally, it makes it very easy for people to like connect. Yeah, if you give people simple concepts, it's very simple for them to, make things better. There we go. In good shape there. There we go. Get his little bed there. Right color. And we're gonna halo. We're gonna put some blue on top of that and make it all cohesive. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably go and go grab a blue because I don't have a blue that's gonna work well for this water that I like at least. All right, let's go. I think this is Squirtle. I think. Yeah, I apologize again. This is not my arena. Let's see what you got in there. It was fun learning you had graphic company or you had really solid foundation of art wisdom. Yeah, I mean, those are huge pieces for me. Well, even how I teach, my teaching style is way different than my colleagues. Um, I teach from more of a foundational standpoint, so you have to put value into what people are doing, right? People have to, especially now. with kids the way that they are, they're always looking for like things to come to them very fast. And as an educator, I'm like, no, you need to slow the hell down because you don't even know what you're about to get into. You have to start learning how to appreciate things. You have to understand that, things take time. Get rich quick schemes don't work. And the reason they don't work is because you're so busy putting your money into it, you don't even realize the people that you're investing into are taking your money just as fast. You don't get it. And it's because you're just not hip to what's going on. But that's why I teach people how to just slow down, put in time, invest your time, get used to doing what you're supposed to do, and get really good at it. And you will see the results pop up after a while. It's time in. Yeah, 100%, Nathan. Yeah. Yeah, the little band don't get it because we're so busy not paying attention. And that's what they bank on. They know you're going to be ignorant and be like, oh, I'm not making any money. I got to go ahead and work harder. Well, they've taken your money and invested it or spent it on whatever they wanted. So when I teach my students about this stuff, it's all about, okay, well, we're doing this step to get to this next step. It's basically the same thing when we were in grade school before, they started really pushing these standardized tests. Um, they used to teach people how to function instead of worrying about um, the whole test. I have more kids that are like so frustrated by the fact they have to even take these tests that it kind of derails what they have to do. I had somebody the other day tell me like I got so bored doing the tests that I actually flunked the test. And I'm like, I get it. I understand. Instead of you focusing on being able to help these kids be able to function outside of the four walls of the school, you're trying to get your school to a certain grade. Teach the kids how to survive. Teach them how to build and how to think. So that way, when you get to be 80 years old, you can live a good life, not sitting around, hoping that our world doesn't explode or implode, I should say. Yeah, I don't blame my youth area on a lot of this stuff. I blame it on the systems that are around them. What's up, Kendall? Welcome back. Yeah, I blame it on the people that are around that are running these systems at the top. I mean, I've been on here and I talked about the fact that I would love to open up my own school. However, I just don't. I don't have the time right now. It's not in my cards to do. But I would love to open up a school where I teach people how to function outside the walls. Teach them the way that I was taught and find educators that are in the same mindset as me. Problem solving skills have kind of gone to the wayside. And the reality of it is that the people at the top know this. Educators know what's up, but now educators are like, hey, I just need to get paid. You guys want me to do this? You need to pay me. You know, especially here in Florida. Florida, I hate to be the person to say this, but teaching in Florida is horrible. Like the teachers that we used to have There's a reason why teachers used to stay in their field for 20 years. It wasn't because the pay was the best. The education and the kids that they produced were what kept them going. You know, the pay again was a byproduct. You know, that's huge. Like being able to show a kid how to read when they don't know how to, like myself. I had educators that would spend their summer times, even though they were getting paid to do it, they would spend their summer times with me, walking me through how to comprehend and doing multiple reading lessons and all this kind of good stuff. 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't do that. And they wouldn't treat me any differently when I was in their classrooms. They would treat me just like any other student, despite they had more time to work with me. But the time that they put into working with me was because they knew that I needed that reinforcement. And my parents paid for that to happen. You know? But that was a benefit of us going to that school. It was a private school, but that private school was all about teaching us how to be able to function outside of the four walls of that school and not embarrass yourself. I mean, basic things like penmanship were huge in my school. I like get rich quick schemes that focus on everyone getting their fair share, but rarely the person at the top thinks about others. That is true, 100%. That is true. But you know, those are I've learned a lot of lessons over the years about people, how they think, and the things that they do. It's kind of crazy. Ooh, I definitely gotta get a pink in there. I'm gonna have to put some colored pencil in that. What's up, kitty cat? Okay. What pink is this? I gotta make sure it's the right pink, not the same pink I just used. We're not doing that. We'll have to do that one with a different color. So I don't think I have that pink. All right, so this guy right here needs to be a little different than the blue I just used. It's going to be more like a dustier blue. And then I think I'm going to make this my last one because I'm actually over my time. Because I got stuff I got to do today, guys. All right, so we're going to do this color here. It's going to go here. And I think we're good. We're good. Get laundry done and a few other things because I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. All right, I think that looks good. That's a good start for the day. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next stream. I'm going to send you on over to whoever I got out there. Hopefully, Kay will be up on here. Actually, let me see who's up. But I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will touch base with everybody on Tuesday. All right, I'm sending you on over to Kay. Take care, guys. Where are you, Kay? I got to hit you up. Slap this down so I can see what I'm doing. Right now, hell yeah.